about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics.
Harambe friends, when you read as many books as I do, some things just slip through the cracks, and this is one of them. Dark Honor. We are actually on issue number 3 right now, and I read the premise and I was excited by it. I put in an order for number 3, and when I was in the store today, I was able to find 1 and 2. So I get to get in at the foundation, even though I missed it at first. It's from Image Comics, and it is very much a gangland story, and it is novel because a big character in this story is the coronavirus. It takes place in 2020, and it starts March 13th of 2020, just as the virus is starting, and it takes place in Hell's Kitchen, and it's a New York City that is virtually abandoned because of the virus and the novelness of it, and so everything is pretty much dead except for this gambling den, which is hostily taken over by this new character. I think he goes by Gregor. You know me. Yeah, his name is Grigor. You know me. I don't take notes. I just give you my impressions on a book. And there are 2 things that stuck out to me instantly. Is the art is phenomenal from the cover, and the cover art actually matches the style that you're gonna see inside of the book. It's kind of a gritty, dark style, but when the action kicks up and the bullets and the fists start flying, it switches to a very bright, dynamic style, which is a subtle narrative thing that really adds a lot to the story here. You see, as Grigor is attacking this underground gambling den, when his goons open fire, you see the muzzle flashes and the chaos that happens all around him. And we find out that this establishment is part of, the mob, and this Grigor is a guy who is not waiting for his time, but taking things into his own hands. So it looks like he's going to be the big bad, and he's using the coronavirus really as a cover and as an opportunity to jump to the front of the line of this criminal organization and take over this gambling den and other places of ill repute. And so when the families are discussing what's going to happen, the guy who's currently running everything in New York, his authority's being questioned, and he's asked about his protege. And he says that she is locked up upstate, and here is where we meet who turns out to be the protagonist of this story, in a female prison doing some kind of martial arts, Tai Chi. And we find that she is, a gambling addict who is locked up for a 5-year stint having to do with gambling. And she glances over at the wrong card game, and that incurs the wrath of one of the other inmates. And the way that the fight scene is drawn here, this kick and the way it connects and the way it's drawn, it almost leaps off the page. It feels like an action movie. So I will say, like I said, the 2 things that stand out for me are the art and the way they capture movement, especially in the fight scenes. And it's very dynamic stuff. And she is actually released early after this fight because of the coronavirus, and they're having to decrease the prison population. So she is lucky, and probably a lucky few, that gets to leave because she served most of her stint. And as she returns to New York, it is desolate and lonely, and not the New York that she knew when she got sent up. And that is really where the story And it has a nice little cliffhanger here where she or her capo are in some kind of peril. And we get another image of Grigor at the very end. And it says to be continued issue 2 coming in June. And like I said, I picked up 1 through 3 right now. So I will be able to get caught up here. And from the creators part in the back, it says the origins of Dark Honor go back to almost 5 years, to the first days of COVID-19 in New York. We're finishing the second of 2 movies together, Trust in 2021, followed by Manhattan Night 2016. The shooting of Trust wrapped in March 13, 2020, as the entire city began to evacuate and shut down for quarantine for months. And this is where they started writing, and they came up with the concept for this comic book. It was actually written as a screenplay, but it made its way to the pages of Image Comics. And if this right here, this #1 issue, is a sign of things to come, I am very excited. And I'm very happy that I picked up issues 2 and 3. If anything stands out of those issues for me, I will let you know when I do a review on them. But if you happen to read Dark Honor from Image Comics, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And the thing about me is, if a company earns my trust, because the comic books are getting more and more expensive. And so if a company has a good track record with me, I'm willing to take a chance on a book that I haven't read, or a new book. And at least 2025 has been the year of Image Comics for me. Everything that they're doing by expanding the Spawn universe and all of the other titles they're putting out, and the revamp of Witchblade. I have not read a bad Image comic this year, or even in 2024, but they're putting out a lot of stuff, and all of it is of the highest quality. And so that's my thoughts on Dark Honor. Get it while you can at your local comic book store. And if you're in Wyoming, there is no better place to check it out than at Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment. They still have issues 1, 2, and 3 just dropped today when I'm recording this review. So you can go into the Eastridge Mall directly across from Hot Topic and get your copies. And I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I will. I'm out.